It's a kinship, it's a friendship, it's a relationship, and all that means is what a brunch bunchship. You know, it is my favorite day of the week. It is Throwback Thursday. And in order to know where you're going, you must know where you come from. It's your main man, Action Jackson, and you're rocking with the Brunch Bunch right here on Inspiration 1390. I'm so excited because when you hear those tambourines, you know it's Thursday, and that means we got a great throwback show for you. We got throwback hits for you all hour long. You're going to hear some Albertina Walker. You're going to hear some First Church of Deliverance. You listen, we are taking you way back, but we're bringing you into the future with some events that are going down in the city of Chicago. We got great guests coming up for you. We have Anjanette Young and Corey Williams talking about the great things they're doing in the city of Chicago and on the west side. Of course, we got hot topics. And listen, grab your pens and your notepads because we have resources, we have grants, and if you miss it, you're going to miss it. So get your pen ready. And as Charmaine would say from Uncle Remus Saucy Fried Chicken, call your friends and your frenemies and tell them to tune in to the Brunch Bunch right here on Inspiration 1390. I'm trying not to talk with my hands. I don't know because there's some of the pictures and videos and be looking wild. Cut that down for me. I need to send you something that's print for me.
Go to Buddy Bear Car Wash. We are in the row in like 2 minutes. BuddyBearCarWash.com and get your membership today.
Print if you could. It's 12. Oh shoot! And my phone.
Hey there, Chicago. Are you looking to buy the home of your dreams or sell your property?
Play a song.
Your quest ends at LNS Development with our expert real estate and mortgage loans.
Whatever was next on. What's next on that queue? Okay. Sugar, where you been at? Sugar. That's a line in one of these songs. And you know what song? As soon as I said sugar. Oh yeah. Okay. I know I wasn't losing it. 773-616-0906. Let me see. Hold on, make sure I press send.
Do you have dry skin?
Remind me because I keep forgetting to do it. I was gonna do it last night. At first I was gonna call it, text and say don't, but then I said, you know what? I ain't gotta do all that. Just stay in your lane. What's up? Stay in your lane. Do you need the address here to the radio so you can send my birthday gift Tuesday? Sugar. I read the first part. Took a promotion. You print. Did mine come through? Are you serious?
You first seen it, like,
I promise. This show in my outbox. Jarrell at iHeart.
Just say this.
No, don't even say it. T Breezy just got here, y'all. No, not like that, right?
Give me some
I
of that.
moved this over because you don't like this donut.
If you don't give me some of that donut.
We ready.
What's the city council trying to do? I'm ready.
Look, she's at it. Come on, but she that drop, she gonna swallow.
Well, the city council committee is at it again, and they have tried to silence the anti-abortion protesters outside the West Loop Clinic. Now, you all remember back in the day when abortions were really hot topics, and there was a whole bunch of protesters out there. Well, for the second time in 6 months, the city council committee is moving to shield women from intimidation and abuse from bullhorn-bearing protesters on their way into a West Loop abortion clinic. Well, at the behest of Planned Parenthood and Alderman Bill Conway, the 34th District, the Committee on Public Safety once again agreed to establish a quiet zone around the abortion clinic operated by Family Planning Associates at 659 West Washington. Well, a slightly broader version was approved last fall, but held in committee for constitutional purposes. And I put that in quotes because that means it's really held in committee so they don't have to rule on it.
Yes.
Well, Conway then agreed to shrink the quiet zone silently and add specific language noting the adverse impacts of excessive noise on surgical provider performance and patient outcomes, and stating that the Chicago Police Department had received at least 10 complaints about the loud amplified noise consisting of bullhorns, megaphones, and amplified music last year. Well, anti-abortion Alderman Nick
Spazzato.
You don't know him, like like y'all buddies. Like
I don't know him, but I know that name.
No, you like on speed dial or something. Well, he once again voted no, condemning what he called an attempt to selectively silence the freedom of speech. What's his name?
Nick Spazzato.
Yeah, him. Questioned how the ordinance were being enforced and why abortion clinics were being singled out. Well, I myself have been an anti-abortion rally, and I could tell you that the people across the street that were counter-protesting were out of control. Amplified noise, banging drums, totally disruptive, he said. And protesters have hounded alderpersons and held sometimes raucous demonstrations outside the aldermanic offices. And so the alderman is like, you know what? I really need to be able to allow them to have their voice. Well, whether we like it or not, we can pick and choose and say, you can't go to the abortion clinic or you can go to the abortion clinic. But here in Illinois, you have the right to go to an abortion clinic. So Spazzato stood his ground when the city attorney said that the recent tweets made the ordinance defensible as we make it. You've got the law degree. I've got a high school diploma. Something ain't right here. This is a dangerous precedent. And whether you agree with me or not on abortion, and I know pretty much everyone around here doesn't agree with me on it, this is a dangerous road that we're going down about freedom of speech, said the alderman. And he joined in his dissent with the 45th Ward Alderman Jim Gardner. Well, Conway countered that women seeking refuge in a city that has become an oasis for reproductive freedom since the United States Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade have been forced to endure intimidation, abuse, bullhorn protesting, all the way to the clinic. And he said that this has got to stop. Well, you know what? I definitely applaud him for taking a stand
Yes.
on allowing people to have their freedom of choice. And because it has been left up to the states, and this state in Illinois has allowed it, then, I get that you are protesting and you are pro-life, but you also have to be pro-Constitution.
Yeah.
And so in your pro-Constitution hat, and when you're wearing your pro-Constitution hat, you got to just like do what you need to do. If you want to change the laws, you can. But until the law is changed, the law is what? The law.
The law.
That's
so
right.
Miss me with that.
Miss me with that.
Well,
you got your bull horns, and you know what? We got a lot of things to protest, but this is really at the crust of what this election is going to be about, this presidential election. Where do you stand? Which side of the fence do you stand on women's rights? So it's not just abortion. It's not just pro-life. It's women's right to choose.
Yep.
Pro-choice is a fundamental constitutional United States right that really this country was founded on.
For the most part.
Well,
because the Supreme Court has been rolling back, and some states have, not allowed women to have a choice.
See, here's the big problem, though, right? So one of my Fist Skype brothers broke it down to me when we were at Fist. Now he's an ophthalmologist out of Cincinnati, Ohio.
Okay.
And so he said the real reason behind the situation is that in the Constitution, there's a 9th Amendment and a 10th Amendment. And it has, so the founding fathers put everything that they could think of for the now and for the next that they could think of. But then for all of those things that they didn't put into the Constitution, they left the 9th and the 10th Amendment so that you could do one or the other, right? Put it in or put it out. And so until it's law, and Roe versus Wade was not law, until it's law, then the Supreme Court does not have a stance on it. And until the Supreme Court actually has to hear it, then the Supreme Court cannot rule on it. Well, now those people who actually stood in solidarity and put it before the Supreme Court had to hear it. Because it wasn't law, the Supreme Court had to rule on it in the way that they did. But what does that say? That says that you have the right, grassroots organizations or large roots organizations, to actually put this into law. And then the Supreme Court ain't got nothing to do with it.
Right. And I'm not even going, I was going to say, well, maybe because we have a Democratic president, they have the time now, because the Republican president isn't going to make that a law.
Well, that was the argument. So, of course, some of my friends who were actually, graduate the top tier, right? So some of my friends were in there, and they are lawyers, judges, and so they didn't even know that. Now he's an ophthalmologist; he doesn't really have anything to do professionally.
That's an eye
with the
doctor,
law.
Right?
Yep. I hope you don't never need one. So since you don't know, you might go to the optometrist. I need you to give me some LASIK.
I'm just asking to make sure that the believers know,
you're
because
exactly
he's not a OBGYN that deals with women. So,
but he also has his finger on the pulse on
so that's
how to make laws, how to change the law.
Well, that's why I wanted to magnify that.
No, you're right. And so one of my friends, Camille, who's an attorney, said, well, don't you think that it has something to do with the Supreme Court being stacked by Trump? He said, no, it doesn't matter. They had the obligation to hear it, and they had the obligation to follow the law, which a lot of us did not know that they followed the law. I didn't know.
Well, yeah, that's what they had to follow the law, because they're enforcing and supporting the law. So when you go to the Supreme Court, they're going off of the Constitution, right?
Right, strictly off the Constitution.
Straight off the Constitution. And is your fight right or wrong per the Constitution?
Correct.
And so
they didn't have a lot of interpretive leeway, is what he was saying.
Yeah.
And so if you look it up, which I did, if you look it up, it makes perfectly good sense. But it does leave wiggle room for another organization or another grassroots
to organize
and get it like you want it
and get it done. We've seen things over the past, in my lifetime, I've seen some things come to fruition that I wouldn't believe could come to fruition. But women, you heard her, all you got to do is organize. And speaking of women, we want to bless two women. Well, a woman with 2 tickets or anybody to the She Owns It She Biz conference going down next Friday, May the 17th from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And what I love about this conference, and Christy was on yesterday, is celebrating and empowering women who want to win. And you're talking about winning on the constitutional federal level with laws, and
And the
this
right to choose.
and the right to choose. And this conference is a breeding ground for winners, right? And so the third caller that calls 855-999-1390. That's 855-999-1390. You're gonna win 2 tickets to the She Owns It, She Biz conference. And you know what? You're gonna walk out of that conference with so much knowledge and information. You're gonna be saying, "Oh my God, he has been good to me." It's Throwback Thursday. It's First Church of Deliverance. He's been good right here on the Brunch Bunch on Inspiration 1390.
What's up,
I like that bracelet.
Oh, showing Donna.
I
She gave
see.
me this bracelet.
Oh, Donna gave you that?
Yeah, Donna gave me this one.
And
I
I
bought
seen.
this one.
Oh, okay. I seen that one. Gold
Yeah, I
one.
saw this one yesterday. I mean, you saw this one. First
Yes.
of all, I've been up for 3 weeks. I ain't got no sleep in 3 weeks. But that's okay. That's okay. The show must
Wait,
go
was that?
on.
Did I have the
What's
wrong
up,
song
believers?
cue?
What's the topic for today for the exclusive?
You have the callers as soon as you get off. Like as soon as you get
No, we could take them over this
Hey,
phone if we got. I
Tina.
mean, over this
I'm
song.
staying in your lane. What's up, Zoe? You are definitely
Adam, you want to talk to the callers?
We truly do love the fact that you are.
We could take them
joining
on
us.
the
You
air.
could have
Just
been
leave
anywhere,
the
but you
song
chose
playing.
to
I'm
be
saying.
here. We truly do appreciate you. Hey, Kristen.
We gonna make it quick.
They don't follow the law. The power over the executive branch was granted by the Supreme Court acting politically. Well, in this case, though, they had to follow the law. That's why I said I didn't know that they followed the law. But they definitely did. I did fact check my brother. On my fifth brother. And so they did actually follow the law.
All right.
Now, you know, I thought that the Supreme Court had the latitude for interpretation, but in this case, they followed it.
Okay, then we're gonna take the winner. You ain't got no question?
Question? You mean?
But you're behind the scenes.
No, I just asked you about that. You was not paying attention.
I was setting up our Jimmy Riggs system over here.
God, this $1 billion company.
I know. Come on.
Actually do, but stay tuned for the
We got a caller.
Topic today.
We're gonna take both of them.
But we got a winner. You don't tell me what to do.
Oh, you read my note?
Yeah, you don't tell me what to do. Not what to do, what to do.
4, 3,
I don't know why you all want to tell me what to do.
1.
You got it.
You're rocking with the Brunch Bunch right here on Inspiration 1390. And in the spirit of giving, we want to bless the caller with 2 tickets to the She Owns It, She Biz conference going down next Friday at Malcolm X College. Caller, what's your name?
My name's Patricia.
Patricia, guess what? You just won those 2 tickets. Woo, 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 woo. Patricia, are you ready to be celebrated and empowered?
Yes, I am.
All right, who just made you a winner, Patricia?
The Brunch.
Yeah. Woo, woo. Stay on the line, Patricia. Our producer is gonna get your caller. And because I moved by the spirit, we said we were just gonna give away once. Oh, we said we are gonna give away one
and
set.
That's what we did.
And that's what we did.
Spirit told you right.
But you know what? We're gonna give away another set. All you have to do is call 855-999-1390. That's 855-999-1390 to win 2 tickets to the She Owns It, She Biz conference going down next Friday. Keep rocking with this throwback hit because he's been good to us. You know what? Because they probably heard me say, they probably.
All right, you want to talk to the caller? Or you want me
to Can you hear him in your headphones?
I can hear the caller?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, can you just take him in your, so we ain't got to mute?
Yeah.
Just get just get a number and email.
Okay,
Thank you. All right, the question.
Hey, caller.
I got
it. Caller.
Hello? Yes, I'm here.
She can't hear you, myself. Adam, what's on you, bro?
Exactly. Speaking of loyal listeners, Brunch Bunch, IG Brunch Bunch, Facebook. Here is the topic. Now, yesterday we talked about sharing locations. Today is.
Yesterday we talked about live.
Oh yeah, whatever. Someday we talk about sharing locations. Okay. Okay, but today we're gonna talk about, should you share your password? Share your password to your device, your major devices like your phone, your pads, your, what do you call those, laptops, with your significant
It's
other.
about pads.
iPads. Well, I say pads because some people don't have iPads. Some people have just
tablets.
Tablets, right?
Tablets.
Should you share? Should you share? How can you find me offline?
Online.
Oh, online. Tammy T Fair. Tammy T Fair at Instagram. Tammy T Fair at Instagram.
30 seconds. What's going on?
Hey, Powerhouse, what's going on?
What's going on?
Should you share? Do you have does Valencia have your password?
Yep.
Your girl got your password?
Of course, they share locations.
Do you well, you know.
Jarrell, do you give out passwords to your girl?
What about you? Your girl got your password?
My password is easy to know.
Right, I got Adam password.
You got mine too. You got mine.
Are you ready?
I got it, but it don't gotta be that loud.
He wants you to hear. So what's going on? We are a resource-based show, and you know what? What I love about this show is we're solution-based too. When we see a problem, we come with solutions. And in the past few weeks, we've had the Dream Center team really scouring anywhere and everywhere to find grants for entrepreneurs. And I said this on Monday, that grants for entrepreneurs have not always been the thing, right? Now, depending on your business, if it's a nonprofit business, then of course there were grants. But there hasn't always been a lot of grants for for-profit businesses. And so,
you know, the other problem is there have been grants, but they haven't been sharing the grants. So a select few people get those grants. And one of the reasons and the basis for which we organize and this show is to give out that information.
Yeah. So we are so excited that the government organizations have shifted their focus and really want to support Black and brown businesses. And so I just wanted to go through some grants that you should be applying for if you qualify. There's the Illinois Clean Jobs Workforce Network Program. This program offers grants to develop a network of workforce hubs across Illinois, providing clean energy and related workforce training. So if you're in the training industry, that's a great grant. It's due June the 30th. There's also the Community Solar Energy Grant Program designed to support the development of community solar projects. That grant provides seed capital and pre-development funding, which is very interesting. I won't go into depth too much, but that's a big industry, big money. That's due July the 1st, 2024. If you're a restaurant owner, the Illinois Restaurant Association Restaurant Employee Relief Fund is offering financial support to restaurants facing hardships, and the grants are between $250 and $1,500. Now, do not despise small beginnings, because that $1,500 can help pay one of your employees to keep them going for a couple of more weeks.
Or 2 more months of the light bill.
Or 2 more months of the light bill. We have the Chicago Small Business Improvement Fund. There are grants for permanent building improvements and repairs covering between 30% and 90% of the cost, with a focus on different neighborhoods each month. So all you have to do is go online to the city website, and it'll tell you if this is the month for your neighborhood.
And that's cityofchicago.org.
That is cityofchicago.org. There's the Neighborhood Opportunity Fund, which Tamara and I both have been recipients of. It supports small businesses in Chicago, underserved neighborhoods with construction or rehab costs. And it is currently open for up to $250,000 in small grants. There is the SBIR.
When does that one do?
I don't have the due date, but we're going to post all of this online. The SBIR and the STTR Phase 1 matching program provides up to $50,000 in state matching funds for Illinois-based recipients of those federal awards to help foster job creation and economic development. Now, there's the Community Development Block Grant. and Coronavirus Urban Shelter Program. Now, this one was interesting because this grant focuses on the construction, reconstruction, rehabilitation, or acquisition of properties to be used as homeless shelters. So if you're looking to start a homeless shelter or you're in that arena and you haven't had the resources, that's due July 31st, 2024. And we have several more. Listen, I was going through our document that the Dream Center prepared, and it's literally 300 pages. And so we're trying to figure out the best way to present it. So we're doing it in a PowerPoint presentation where you can download it, click the link. So all you got to do is pay attention to the Brunch Bunch page or go on thedreamcenter.com and you'll be able to find all of this information. And you know what? Because we are so in tune, Tamara also came in with a grant resource.
Well, you know what? We're celebrating women in this grant, and this is the BMO, and of course, that's the bank, the BMO Harris Bank grant, and it's in collaboration with Deloitte, and they're pleased to present the BMO Celebrating Women Grant Program. So, as a part of their purpose and commitment to boldly grow the good business and in life, BMO is inviting women-owned businesses to apply for one of 15 $10,000 grants by sharing their high-level business growth plans. So any type of business growth will be considered to be new products, new services, new markets, etc. The deadline for this application is 8 o'clock, May 14th.
My birthday.
So you don't have a lot of time, but you still have time. So the BMO Harris is celebrating women, and they're using SurveyMonkey for some aspects of the application process. And SurveyMonkey is pretty user friendly, so you definitely don't want to be intimidated by that. Now, of course, we've been 7 years getting you ready for every one of these grants.
Yep.
So there should be no excuse. You should be ready. Why? Because if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
Well, these are some great resources. There are so many. Shout out to BMO, who is our bank. You know, we have done great business with them. They provide great services for Black and brown communities. But we just want you to be cognizant to this information because there's so many more. Tech Rise, which is a partner of the show in the Dream Center last year, and they do weekly pitch competitions where they're giving out grants ranging from $25,000 to $50,000. And 5 Dream Center members have won these weekly pitch competitions.
Whoa.
And I was blessed to be a keynote speaker at one of the competitions, but I'm going to be an applicant in this go around.
Right.
But you know what? We share these resources for you, but also share them with somebody else. And if you know anybody who is interested or need these type of resources, all you have to do is have them to tune in to the Brunch Bunch every day, 12 to 1 p.m. Because you know what? We will send you back better than you came. We're going to keep this Throwback Thursday rocking. You know what? I don't know about you, but I know about me. I'm on the lower side. Are you on the lower side?
What? That's the only side. That's the best side, not the west side.
Who's on the... Wait a minute. Hold on. You know what? You just messed up my outro. We was flowing until you let the devil use you. You know what? I don't know whose side you on. But you know what? I'm going to ask you to believe who's on the lower side. This Reverend Timothy Wright right here on the Brunch Bunch.
Hey,
you are ridiculous.
Who, me?
Yes.
What I do?
Who's on the lower side? Ain't the west side.
Hey. Hi, how you doing?
How you doing?
Got something for my baby.
Yeah.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Good. I'm excellent, thank you.
Hey, what's up, man? How you feeling? Yeah, we met a few times. Nice to see you. Mandy reached out to me and gave, let me know to take good care of you.
Make sure my baby gets his meal.
I will, and I'm going to send you a nice picture and video of them.
All right, should you share your passwords with your... Turn it down something. Should you share your password? Down something.
He said,
Let me tell you something about men. If you're in the car with a man, and the man, you ask the man, can you turn the heat down some? He'll turn it off. If you ask him to turn the air down some, he's going to turn it off. The radio down some, it's off. You cannot do that. You got to do it yourself, ladies. You cannot ask the man.
Hey, Darrell said.
Polar opposite ends. There is no middle.
She said, turn down so he said, boom.
Bam.
Oh.
I got you. I bet you won't ask this question again. I'm going to come over there and get them buttons myself.
All right, everybody. We are now with Quiet on Set with Tamara Fair.
Yes, that's right. And today's exclusive topic is, should you share your password with your significant other? Yes, really. Yes, really. What's up, E Smooth?
Well, I don't just share mine. Like, hey, here go my list of passwords. But I also
She
don't.
got them.
I don't hide them. So if it's something like, hey, here now, nobody has like my business laptop cell
So when
phone
you do dirt,
password.
you do it on that one.
Maybe. No.
No, so here begs the question: if in fact your significant other is resistant to it, should that raise your spidey senses as to what is behind the secretism?
No, I don't think so.
If they can't explain why, then
See?
yes.
See?
What's
What's a good explanation?
That ain't for me to decide.
What's a good explanation?
I don't think it should even be a question though.
What do you mean?
What's your insecurities to ask me? Why do you need my password?
I can also agree with that too.
You don't need to ask me like, let me see your password. That's why I don't like the tracking. Not because I don't want her to know where I'm at, but I feel like why do you need to be? I don't want to feed your insecurities. One, if you got one.
But don't you want to quell them if you have them?
Yeah. But
So-
I'm going to
so
quell
if-
them by praying for you. And I'm going to ask God to touch your heart and your mind. Sugar said no. Why do you need it? See, a woman said no. Why do you need it?
How much time y'all want on the song?
We got how many minutes?
What do you mean? Why do you need it? For emergency
So like 2.5.
purposes. I don't understand. Why would you not need it?
Okay.
My password?
Yeah.
If it's an emergency, call 911.
But you just said you guys just got here, but he said she got his password.
Well, but
no,
I think it's based on the relationship.
yeah.
If you're married, I think, yes, they should have access as needed, but not to the point like they're just
Going through.
Yeah, going through.
This a random search.
Yeah.
Like we got to keep going through.
I
Now,
didn't say nothing about random searches.
thank you, stay in your lane. She said, "Amen." I'm Team Action Jackson.
Stay in your lane. Don't let me see you here.
Oh, look, no, don't intimidate the people. The truth will liberate. I think
No, this is true.
Right.
That's true. Every woman can find your password
if she really wants.
and she don't have to have no hacking skills or none of that. All she gotta do is think. Because y'all ain't really that complicated with your passwords.
And we don't care that much.
No, it's not that.
Right. That's why I'm like, Valencia never was like, I need your password, but it's been times where my phone may have been in another room and she like, oh, what's your password so I can unlock it? And then I just say it. And
so Eric says that his password is available upon request.
Okay. But I change my password every couple of months anyway.
Yeah, so see, it don't matter.
Only because
so you playing
you never
games
know.
with
No, you never know who around you got your
he
password.
playing games. You playing password games.
No. I just do like the laptops tell you, or your Google will tell you.
Google don't tell you
You have
that.
to do it to tell your password needs to be changed.
Only if it's been compromised on the dark web.
Nope.
Or it had, yeah.
It tell you.
It ain't no every 2 months.
Not every.
Get out of here with that.
Into a different device, it even says, "Is this you?" Signing in.
Just let them go.
Just let them go. This is entertainment.
Just let them go. Let me tell you something. If you don't give me your password, I'm really like, I feel like there's something you're hiding.
Well, that's what you need to talk in therapy about. Anjanette, we got to. Yeah, you got to say, why do I need this password?
Reggie talking about we didn't create the password process; the device did.
Thank you, Reggie.
I understand that you didn't create it. That's not the question. I want y'all to follow the question. Okay.
Everything I do is in my phone, though. So of course I want to make sure I work from my phone.
So you don't take pictures. You don't want anyone to see in your phone.
Right, them naked pictures of me. I don't want to get out on the internet.
I don't blame you. They coming for you.
2, 1.
Police.
You rocking with the Brunch Bunch right here on Inspiration 1390. It's your main man, Action Jackson. And I'm probably posted with after she gets out of therapy.
It's your girl Tamara Fair on the air. And I don't know what you're talking about, but therapy, I have therapy enough right here in the studio with 2 of our special guests. And I'm proud to announce that they are actually in the building today. So today we have Anjanette Young and Corey Williams. We have 2 incredible guests joining us, and they are the founder of I Am Her.
Anjanette Young is the founder of the I Am Her nonprofit foundation, and she is here to share her inspiring journey as an activist and advocate for social justice. Alongside her, we have Corey Williams, the visionary owner of the premier art gallery on the west side, 345 Art Gallery, together they are working to showcase
the local West Side artists whose works tell a story of violence experienced by Black women at the hands of the police and other systems like that. So join us as we give a big brunch. Welcome to Anjanette Young and Corey Williams. Welcome.
Anjanette is, of course, a friend of the Brunch Bunch. Welcome back.
Thank you. Always great to be here with you, Marcel, and the team.
Yes, we are glad to have you. Anjanette, you're doing some great work, and we want to kick it right off, get into it. We know, but we want the believers to know. Why did you found and start the I Am Her nonprofit foundation?
I Am Her Foundation really was developed out of my experience I had with the City of Chicago Police Department when they wrongly raided my home in February of 2019. And then 13 months later, we had the Breonna Taylor story. And we know that Breonna lost her life in that situation. Yeah. And it was very similar to what I had experienced. And so I kind of embodied Breonna. And I started wearing T-shirts that just said, I am her, with Breonna's face on it. That's literally how it started.
Wow.
And so after going through my process and fighting for justice and going to therapy for myself, I knew that I wanted to give back to our communities in a way that other Black girls and Black women who experience trauma can have access to therapy.
And just for you all believers that don't know, Anjanette was wrongly raided and the police left her naked in her home.
Yes.
And it was traumatizing for her, but it was traumatizing for us when we were reporting about it. And
actually, when we just saw it, it was just an invasion of privacy. Here you are,
no
in your
respect.
home, no respect, and then no remorse.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you really have persevered, and you're repping and rocking that T-shirt. And literally, when you look at it, we say this all the time, that we are our sisters and brothers keepers. We are her. We are him. So collectively, we can make a change, and you are actually at the forefront of that change.
Yes. Thank you for the work that you're doing.
Absolutely. And so with my foundation, I've always wanted to find ways to continue to tell my story in a way that's impactful, but also in a way that brings some type of healing and change into the community. And I had an opportunity to visit the art gallery, 345 Art Gallery, back in March. And I saw what they were doing over there and some of the pieces that were in their space. And that's how Corey and I connected.
And it's a beautiful space.
It's gorgeous. So, Anjanette, what are some of the key initiatives and programs that the I Am Her Foundation offers to support Black girls and women experiencing trauma? And that's on the rise.
Yes, so we know that our Black girls and women are more susceptible to trauma from our community, domestic violence, sexual assault. It can be any type of trauma. And we know that in the Black community, there are huge barriers to us accessing therapy. Like on average, any woman will wait 3 to 6 months to get a therapy appointment. And that's if you have insurance. So with the I Am Her Foundation, we're focused on removing the barriers to access to therapy. So I've built a network of Black therapists that partner with the I Am Her Foundation. And so any woman or girl who comes through our foundation and is seeking therapy for whatever situation, I can get them connected within 2 to 3 weeks versus that 3 to 6 month wait list.
Now, do you mind if I delve into your trauma a little bit?
Absolutely.
Now, how did you actually work through the trauma that you experienced, and are you still working through it? And what would you offer to young girls or anybody, girls of any age, that are working through traumatizing experiences?
Absolutely. So what I experienced is it's going to be a lifelong process of me healing and being intentional about how I take care of myself. What was fortunate, if I can use that word in this situation, is I was already connected to a therapist before this happened to me. So when this happened to me, I was able to call my therapist the very next day and say, hey, this happened last night and I need an appointment right away. Now, because I was already connected, I got in right away and I had a therapist that was able to work with me through that process. And I continue to see my therapist to this day because it's important for that, but also other things in my life that come up that I need to work through and have someone support me through that.
Hallelujah.
I love that. What the devil meant for evil, God turned around for your good.
Absolutely.
Corey, the owner of 345 Art Gallery, I've seen it from its infancy, I'll say, when you first launched, and acquiring new land and building and expanding. Can you share how your collaboration with the I Am Her Foundation came about and what drew you to support their cause?
Well, I was familiar with the story, Anjanette's story. The day she came in for an event, I wasn't there, but we talked. She
Okay.
had talked to one of the artists, my residence artist there, neighborhood artist, Diane. She was like, I want to tell my story through art. And Diane was like, hey, she asked me to create her a piece telling her story. I was like, I'd like to meet her.
Mm.
She came into the gallery. We had a few conversations, and we knew that connection, the power we can bring by telling her story at the art gallery through art.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, as an artist, how do you believe that art can be used as a tool to raise awareness and advocate for social justice, but particularly in the context of violence experienced by Black women who have been traumatized?
Yeah. Well, I just want to clear up one thing. I'm not an artist. I'm an art collector, but I'm
But
definitely.
that's still a form of being an artist. You got to have an eye for what you're going to put in your gallery.
Exactly. And a lot of the artwork that I have is immersion artists, new artists, those who don't really get an opportunity to display in an art gallery. The art gallery consists of more than just an art gallery. It's like a community space, a place where my doors are always open. They can see art that they can relate to. So it's so much more to just an art gallery in 345.
Okay.
So, Corey, if I'm not mistaken, you are a Chicago police officer?
Yes, I am.
So, I wanted to confirm that before. And so when we talk, look, Adam is like, whoa, wow, and that's crazy. So, but that is crazy to think about this collaboration and the correlation, right? And so can you speak to, as a Chicago PD and knowing her story, how does that impact this collaboration?
Well, when I first met Anjanette, I was very transparent with her. I said, hey, I just want you to know that I am a Chicago police officer, but I'm Corey Williams first. It's just my job. We'll talk about that later. Again, I don't want to voice my opinion about it because the facts were there.
Right.
We've seen it. So I don't have to say much about the video that everyone's seen and her experience. But the facts are there.
Now, Anjanette, when you heard he was a Chicago police, did you almost run the other way, or did?
Yikes!
I did. So when my first introduction to the gallery, I was not aware that Corey was an officer with Chicago Police. But when he said that to me, and he asked me, like, does this bring anything for you? Does this cause you any anxiety or anything by me being an officer? And I told him absolutely not. And that's because we're 5 years later and I've done the work on myself. And so I know that not all officers are bad officers. I've always known that. And so what I share with Corey is that I'm not afraid or feel anxious around officers when I'm in control of the situation.
Gotcha.
And so there's a difference between me being stopped and not knowing how this situation is going to go. And I've had some experiences where I got pulled over. The officer said I didn't make a complete stop at the stop sign. That brought a lot of anxiety for me in that moment because I did not know how that experience was going to happen. But when I'm in control of the situation, then there is no fear or anxiety around me being in this space with officers. And I didn't see Corey as an officer. I saw him as the owner of the art gallery.
That's amazing. That is really amazing.
That's
and full
growth.
circle and growth. But just to this whole collaboration shows us how we can take our trauma and turn it into a triumphant testimony, right? And so I love that. And you
grow
want
people that have similar traumas so that they can grow and use your pathway that you've already blazed a trail on. So congratulations to both of you for actually doing the work and showing how people can follow behind you. But Anjanette, my question is for you for the moment. What message would you like to share with other organizations or even individuals who may be interested in collaborating with I Am Her? Because this is an amazing foundation and other people are blowing us up online and they want to know how can they get involved.
Absolutely. So I Am Her is a foundation. So there's a difference between a nonprofit organization that provides services and an actual foundation.
Yeah.
So our foundation, we are raising money to give away money. And so I am connecting individuals with therapy. If they have insurance, we're getting them connected right away. If they don't have insurance, we are paying for 5 free visits, and then we are working with them to get connected with insurance so they can continue that process. And so people can donate on our website because we need money.
Mm-hmm.
People can buy merchandise that's on our website as well. I have t-shirts and sweatshirts. We sell candles. And all of the money that is raised, 80% of the funds that are raised go back into providing therapy services for individuals who cannot afford their therapy service.
Now, can you share that website so people can connect now?
Absolutely. So that website is iamher21.com.
I love it.
iamher21.com. That doesn't mean you have to be 21. That just means it's iamher21.com.
Well, listen, I'm glad that you, Tammy, made sure you gave that website out, because this is one of my favorite scriptures in the Bible, and it's in the Bible twice. Where your heart is, your treasure will be also. And if you're hearing this story and your heart is there, let's support it by giving financially so that she can continue to support the work that they're doing. But they can support this art showcase that's happening. Can you tell us about the upcoming art showcase at 345 Art Gallery that will depict the violence experienced by Black women? What message or story do you hope the art will convey? And
So for me, I'm hoping the message will convey a sense of awareness of what's happening in and around our community. My story was very public and people got behind it, rightly so. But there are other families and women in the city of Chicago who has had the very same experience that I have had, and their story has not been told. And so I want to bring awareness to just what's happening to our Black and brown girls, our Black women in the city of Chicago. And I'm hoping that people will connect with my story, but then they will also see that this doesn't just happen to me. It's happening all around our city and across our country.
wow.
Well, I think the 4 artists that I selected, Badu, Anthony Roberson, Dame Lamar Reed, Diane Lewis, a couple of these guys have done murals all throughout the city. And you stop and see a mural sometimes, and it tells a story, and you interpret that yourself. So these guys, everybody heard her story, and now they're going to use their creative side to create a visual. And you've got 4 different artists telling that visual, so it's going to be very powerful. June 8th, 2024, at 4 p.m. it's going to start.
Now, how can people get tickets to this magnificent event?
So it's a free event, first of all, absolutely free. So that means everybody can come. You can just show up at 345 Art Gallery, which is 345 North Kesey. But also on my I Am Her page, after I leave the show today, there will be a link for if you would like to be my special guest. I am going to have a link for people to sign up and come and be my special guest to this event.
That's
Wow.
amazing.
I love it. I want to know, have you seen the visuals yet?
I have not. So I am so anxious because I am trusting these artists to do what they do best. Now, I have seen other work that these artists have done, so I am confident that they will do well with this, but I will see it at the same time that the entire community will see it. So I will not get to see it until June 8th this year.
Now, I just wanted to say, because Tammy got a burning question, but I'll be so scared to wait to see it unveiled with everybody. Like, wait a minute. Let me get a sneak peek first, bro.
I have had some conversations with the artists, and they have talked with me through what their visions are for the pieces that they're doing.
Okay.
But I will not see them until June 8th.
I want to be in the room.
That was my whole idea. I was like, I want you to wait until the day of. It's like the revealing.
And that raw reaction, it's nothing like it. You can't duplicate it.
Exactly.
So I get the premise as to why you're doing it that way.
That's going to be dope.
But in your opinion, and this is a question for both of you all, in your opinion, what role does art really play in storytelling and addressing systemic injustices and promoting healing?
I think for most people, a lot of time our emotions come through our eyes. And even with my story, so it happened in February of 2019. We did an initial story in November of 2019, but we did not have body cam footage. That story did not get the same impact as when the video was shown. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's a different type of emotion, a different type of feeling that you get when you can see and hear what is actually happening. Mm-hmm. It was almost like I told people, and people was like, that happens. The police get it wrong. It happens all the time in our neighborhood. in my opinion, that was what the initial story was about.
And let's just gloss it over.
Exactly. But then I had to fight with the city for the body cam footage. And once the body cam footage came out, then everybody really understood the impact of what I had experienced.
And that shouldn't be normalized, you know, and that's the problem we have, especially in our community. Things happen and we are so numb to it, right? And we just think, oh, it's just another day in the hood, another wrong raid.
But it doesn't make it right.
It doesn't make it right. And I'm glad that you fought and you're fighting for other people to share their stories.
Corey, if you can answer that as well.
Again,
Thank you.
I mean, just art itself, you know, it tells a story. And a lot of people don't like to speak about, you know, different traumas they experience, but they can relate to a picture that someone creates.
And see the pain in the picture.
The pain in the picture. You know, and like I said, these are really good artists. These guys are some of the best in Chicago. And
so if you missed this, you've missed a lot.
Yeah.
Now, will the art be for sale and the money raised from the sale of these pieces go to the organization, or how's that working?
Right now, this is more about awareness than raising money. So the pieces that unveil on June 8th will sit in 345 Art Gallery for 30 days for the community to come and see and explore. Now we're hoping, you know, to build on this, but maybe moving it around to some other galleries. And I'm just going to put it out there for anybody that's listening. I'm hoping to find a home for this in DuSable. I think this is something that could live and breathe in DuSable Museum as part of Chicago's culture.
Well, we're claiming it.
We're claiming it. Yeah, we got to connect you with Dr. Carol Adams.
Yes.
Who, you know, used to be the president over at the DuSable.
Absolutely.
She was with us Tuesday. But you know what? This is great. Believers, we want you to support the I Am Her Foundation in their upcoming gallery showcase at 345 Art Gallery. It's going down. Tell us the date, the time, one more time so we can make sure everybody there.
June 8th, 2024, 4 p.m. To 8 p.m. at 345 North Kesey, 345 Art Gallery. It's a free event. You don't have to sign up or buy a ticket. I am going to be having people to attend as my special guest. So later today, go to my website, iamher21.com, go to the event page. There will be a link there for you to sign up to be my special guest for this event.
I love it. I love it.
That's awesome.
Well, Anjanette and Corey, thank you so much for joining us today. Anjanette, keep doing the work that you're doing because your story has to be shared across this globe.
And keep sharing.
And keep sharing it because the African diaspora, no matter what country you are in, experience things that like you experience, and systemic racism is real. And so we got to keep shining the light so that we can get laws changed. Corey, thank you for being, I almost want to say officer friendly. Well, I'll call you officer friendly. Thank you for being that community brother that's showing us that all police are not the same and some really care, because this partnership right there is a prime example of it. And so if you have not been to 345 Art Gallery, make sure you check it out. It's 345 North Kesey on the Great West Side, Tamara, you know, of Chicago. Tamara, you've been to the gallery.
I have.
Yeah, you've been to the gallery for a great event. I met you. Deborah Vines. That's right. Okay, I couldn't remember for a second. But listen, believers, you got to check it out. Make sure you're there on June 8th. I will be there because I want to see Anjanette's face when they unveil all of these visuals that she has not seen yet.
One of the things that I think that people don't realize is not just an art gallery, it's an event space too.
Yes.
And a beautiful event space that you don't have to decorate. All you gotta do is make a reservation. Exactly. Pull up.
I thought if I say make it rain. Listen, look, I'm like, wait a minute.
This ain't that kind of hard.
Listen, Tim, all you gotta do is show up, and that's what we did today. And you know what? We're out of time. We're never out of content. On this Throwback Thursday, we encourage you in the spirit of the late, great Reverend Dr. Clay Evans. No matter what you're going through today, no matter how gloomy the day may seem, go home tonight, get in your bed, and pull the covers around your shoulders and go to sleep because angels are watching over you. Tamara Fair on the air, I love you.
Action Jackson, I love you.
Believers, we love you. Baby Eminem, we love you. Up next, AC Green. After that, Pastor DeAndre Patterson with the Afternoon Drive. We get it done all night long right here on Inspiration 1390.
You guys, thank you so much for joining us. You could have been anywhere, but you chose to be here, and we don't take that lightly. If, in fact, you decided to share your password or not, maybe you decided to unshare your password. Irrespective, it's a decision that only you can make. Hopefully, you made the right decision. If not, you have the opportunity to make another one tomorrow or later on today. In the meantime, make sure that you are visiting us tomorrow. Same time, different topics. See ya. Peace.
Bye, Facebook.